Hello everybody, welcome to another lesson about English grammar. Today we are going to continue the previous lesson that was present continuous, present simple. Okay, this is the second part. So let's start with the lesson. We're gonna start with the section A that it says we use continuous form like I'm waiting, I'm raining, and so on, right? For actions and happenings that have started but not finished. Okay. Some verbs like I know, I like are normally used in this way. We don't say I'm knowing or they are liking. We say I know, they like. The following verbs are not normally used in the present continuous, like, want, need, prefer, know, realize, understand, recognize, believe, suppose, remember, me, belongs, fit, contain, consist, and seem. Right? An example they would be I'm hungry. I want something to eat. It's not I'm waiting or I'm wanting thing. Right? I'm wanting no. It's I want. I want something to eat. Another example is do you understand what I mean? Or Anna doesn't seem very happy right now. Okay? It means like not all regular and irregular verbs, right, has a continuous form. Okay? We're gonna see another section like for example sense, feelings, or on specific ones, right? But just keep in mind this list, okay? Let's move on to the next one. Section B, think, right? When think means believe or have an opinion, right? We do not use the continuous, okay? For example, I think Marie is Canadian, but I'm not sure, right? Because it's an opinion, it's a belief, right? That Marie is a Canadian, so we have to use the base form. In this case, I think because it's a belief, right? What do you think of my idea? So in this case, this is an opinion, right? This is an opinion. What do you think, right? But also think means consider. So when we are considering something, right, we can use the continuous tense. For example, I'm thinking about what happened. I often think about it. Okay? In this case, right, in the first part of this phrase, we are using I'm thinking because we are considering something. Right? In this case, I'm considering, in this case, I'm thinking about what happened. Right? So we are considering something. But in the second part, we're expressing an idea. Right? In this case, I often think about it. Right? And the next one, Nikki is thinking of giving up her job. Okay, so she's considering. Okay, she's considering to give up her job. Let's move on to the section C. Right? So as I said, there is some verbs we cannot use the ing. Right? For example, when we are talking about two feelings, right, or sense, sensitive sense, right? Like for example, see, right, or hear, or smell, taste, look, and feel, right? We normally use present simple. Okay. For example, do you see that man over there, right? We don't say, are you seeing that man over there? No, it's do you see that man over there? Okay. For the next one, the room smells. Okay, the room smells. Let's open a window. Okay, smells, not smelling, no, it smells. This soup doesn't taste very good. Okay, this soup doesn't taste very good. But we can also use these sensitive verbs with ing. In this case, looks and feel. This is the exception, okay? For example, you look well today, or we can also say you are looking well today. That's valid, okay? That's totally right. How do you feel now? Or how are you feeling now? Right? So both of them are correct, okay? But I usually feel tired in the morning, right? Not unusually feeling. So what's the difference between I usually feel tired in this morning and how you feeling right now, right? The main difference is like we don't have a control of that. This is not like an active and not active verb, okay? Basically, an active verb is the verb that we have a control, but a not active verb is something that we don't have a control. For example, the fact that you're feeling tired, right? You feel tired in this morning, it's something that you cannot control. Yeah, it's out of your control. It's like I usually feel tired in the morning, so that feeling you cannot avoid it, right? Or I don't know, or another verb like smell. For example, smell, right? Smell, it's something that you don't have a control of that. For example, you go around the street and I don't know, you smell something. It's out of your control, right? It's not up to you. It's something that you cannot control. But if you say, I'm walking, right? The action to walk, it's something that you can control. So that's why you can use the ing. I'm walking, or I'm going, or I'm drinking, I'm cooking, right? It's something that you have a control. But in this specific verbs, you don't have a control, okay? The fact to feel tired, right? But looking, right? Looking, you have a control, right? Because you can look everywhere, right? You're looking very well, right? In this case, you have a control because you are dressing yourself, or I don't know, right? Okay, let's move on to the next part. I is are being. Okay, that's interesting. So you can say he's being, or you are being, or etc. to say how somebody is behaving now. For example, I can understand why he's being so selfish. He isn't usually like that. Being selfish. Behaving selfish now. Okay? We're coming back to the continuous, right? Remember, a continuous express a specific action that is happening right now. Okay? In that case, that person is not selfish. Or maybe most of the time, he's not selfish, right? But right now, right, he's being selfish. Okay? Another example, the path is icy. Don't sleep. Don't worry. I'm being very careful. Okay? Careful, sorry. So, we're talking about the behavior, right? And a specific behavior that somebody is having right now. Okay? Let's compare it with other one. He never thinks about other people. He's very selfish. So this is a present simple, right? Because we're talking about that person is selfish most of the time. Okay? He's selfish generally, not only now. I don't like to take risks. I am a very careful person, right? When we use is, are, being to say how a person is behaving, doing something they can control. Okay, let's coming back, right? The verb that we have a control and the verb we don't have a control, right? It is not usual. It's not usually possible in other situations. For For example, Sam is ill. No, is ill. Is not being ill. In that case, we don't have a control about to be ill, right? Sam is ill. That's something that Sam cannot have a control. Oh, are you tired? Are you tired? The fact that you are tired, that's something that you cannot have a control of that, right? So let's move on to some example. We're gonna understand better in those examples, okay? Exercises, section 4.1. Put the verb into the current form, present continuous or present simple. Are you hungry? Do you want something to eat? Right, that's the correct form. Number 2, Alan says he's 90 years old, but nobody believes. Okay, nobody believes him. Okay. Yeah, I think it's just it's a present simple. Okay, because he says Alan says he's 90, but nobody believes him. Okay, it's something general. It's not something general. That's something that happens generally, right? People don't believe that. Let's move on to the next one. I'm gonna change the color because I like blue. I prefer blue than black. I think it looks better. Yeah. So she told me her name, but I'm not remembered now. Okay, so in that case, do you have a control about remember something? No, right? So it's out of our control. So we can say, but I don't remember. I don't remember it now. Okay. The next one. Don't put the dictionary away. I use it. Okay. In that case, that's something that I have a control. Yes. Right. I can decide if I use or not that dictionary. So the correct answer is I am using it. The next one. Don't put the dictionary away. I need it. I need it. Right? So let's back to the first section. Okay. Remember there is some exception. Right? In this case, need. Right? Need. Do we have control about something we need? It's like we can decide if we need something or not. No, right? So in that case, it's just I need it because that's something that I cannot decide. Okay, I don't have a control of that. So air, okay, consists mainly of nitrogen and oxygen. Okay, so consists is also an exception. Consists, but this is in third person. Okay, air is a thing. Okay, consists mainly of nitrogen and oxygen. Okay, who's the man? Who's the man? Okay, what he wants. Okay, let's back to our list. Sorry about that. Want is also in this list, right? So we're gonna put what does he want. You can say, oh, okay, but the verb wants something that I can decide, right? That I have a control. Yeah, you have a control of your person or yourself, but you don't have a control of other person, right? For example, what does he want? I don't know what that person wants, right? So that's why we use want, right? We use does and know what are he wanting, right? You know what I mean? Another one, number 8. Who's the man? Why, right? He look at us. Okay, so let's back to this part. Let's back to the verbs that we use for sense, like see, hear, smell, taste, look, and feel, right? If we see, we can use look in both, right? We can use as a as a as a present simple, but also as a present continuous, right? So if we write like why why is he looking at, that's totally correct, right? Yeah. Another one, who's the man, right? You recognize him, you recognize is a question, right? So let's back to our list, and recognize is also in our list, right? That's a verb that we cannot have a control, right? That's something about our brain, our memory, right? In this case, who's the man? Do you recognize? Do you recognize him? Right? It's gonna be up our memory, our brains, our control. And the next one, I think of selling my car. Would you be interested in buying it? Right. So let's think about that. Okay. Remember, we can use think to express an idea and beliefs, but also to consider something. In this case, the person is considering or is thinking or believing something, right? In this case, he's considering to selling his car. Okay, I am thinking of selling my car because I'm considering to sell it. Okay, next one. I can't make up my mind. What think? Okay. In this example, we're expressing an idea. Okay. What do you think I should do? Okay. Oh, sorry. Yeah. The next one. Gary wasn't well earlier, but seems right. In this case, he seems okay. Okay. Yep. Yeah, remember, let's go back to this place, and we have the seem. Seem, okay. Seems. We don't have a control about seems, right? And seems mean that something that is obvious. For example, if you are, for example, you are walking on the street, right, and you see, I don't know, people like two men, okay, just coming out from one house, okay, and they are wearing like a hood, like a black one, in their heads. So you can say, it seems like they are robbing the house, okay, because that's something, it's clear, okay, you can see that, okay. Okay, let's move on to the next exercise. Exercise 4.2. Use this word in brackets to make sentences, okay. An example is you not seem very happy today. So the correct sentence is, you don't seem very happy today, because that's something that is clear, okay. In this case, maybe she looks sad, or she looks upset, or I don't know, right? But that's something is clear, that's something that we can see, right? And try to talk about that. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Are you okay? You look worried. In this case, we can say, I am thinking, right? I'm thinking, because I'm considering something, right? I'm not expressing an idea, I'm not expressing a belief, because I'm not talking, I just in silence, right? I'm thinking about that, considering something in my mind, right? So I'm thinking. Who this umbrella belongs to? Okay. Belongs. Let's analyze belongs. Belongs, I think, is in our list. Let's have a look at our bucket list. Belongs. Yeah, belongs. Look at this. Belongs is our list, right? That's something that we cannot have a control, right? So, who does this umbrella belong to? Yep. The next one. This smell good. This smell good. Yeah, that's something we cannot have a control. So this smells with S because we are talking about the third person. Good. Yeah. The next one, number 5. Excuse me. Anybody sit there? Okay. No, it's 3. Okay. Okay. Is anybody sitting here? So why am I using sitting there? Why am I using simple present continuous, right? Because we are talking about action that you have a control, right? You decide to sit in there, right? You can decide, right? So in this case, is anybody sitting there, right? Because we're talking about the action to sit, right? It's something that you can decide to do it, okay? So we can use a present continuous, okay? Let's move on to the next one. These gloves not fit me, right? They are too small. They are too small. So we are talking about a small thing. We are talking about something that it's out of our control. Okay. So in this case, these clothes does not fit me. Okay, because that's something that we don't have a control. So we can only use we cannot use present continuous. Okay. Okay, does not or doesn't is the same. Let's move to the next one. 4.3. Are the underlying verbs okay? Correct them where necessary. Okay. Nick is thinking of giving up her job. That's okay. That's okay because we're expressing, we are considering something. In this case, giving up a job. It's not true, and not believe it. It's not true. Look, it's affirmation. It's not true, and not believe it, right? So we're expressing a belief. So we have to use in a present a simple present or present simple. Okay, I don't believe it. Let's move on to the next one. I'm feeling hungry. I'm feeling hungry. Is there anything to eat? I'm feeling hungry. Yep, that's okay. No, I feel hungry. Yeah, that's something we don't have a control. So the correct word, correct sentence, I feel hungry. Hungry, because that's something we don't have a control, right? We don't have a control about to feel hungry or not. And let's move on to the next one. I never eaten that fruit. What is tasting like? What is tasting like? Taste. Remember, we don't have a control about the taste. Okay, it could be taste good or not, but it's not our control. So, what does it taste like? Okay. I'm not sure what she does. I'm not sure what she does. I think she works in a shop. I think. Yeah, that's totally okay. It's correct. Because we're expressing an idea and a belief, right? That she works in a shop. But we are not sure, but we are expressing our beliefs. And look over there. What are you seeing? What are you seeing? Okay. I think is what does you see, right? Because we don't have a control about what we can see. That's different to say what are you looking at? That's totally different, right? Because we have a control what we can look, right? But we don't have a control what we can see, right? It's like if I see, I don't know, this cup, right? I cannot change the shape of this cup, right? Well, I cannot change something in there. Maybe, I don't know, Hamonte or whatever, right? We cannot change, but we can decide where to look at. Okay? That's the difference. The next one, you're very quiet. What are you thinking about? What are you thinking about? You are very quiet. What are you thinking about? That's, I think, totally okay, because we're considering something, right? Okay, let's move on. Complete the sentence. Use is, are, being, continuous, or is and are. So we're gonna remember, wanna check our knowledge in present continuous and present simple. That's very interesting. I can understand why he's being so selfish. He isn't usually like that. Okay, so in that case, we know that he isn't usually like that. I mean, like, he isn't selfish all the time, right? But in this situation, right now, he's being selfish. Okay, just for a small period of time. Okay. So, you like Sophie when you met her. Okay, when you meet her, she very nice. Okay, so she is very nice. Okay, because we're talking about how's that person generally. Okay, in that case, she generally is very nice, right? Because we don't know her. It's like we cannot talk about to the present continuous in this case being nice, because we are not having that moment, right? We are not in that moment right now. We're gonna have it in the future, because our friend claims that she's very nice. Sarah, very nice to meet. Sorry, Sarah, very nice to me at the moment. I wonder why. Okay. So in that case, Sarah is being very nice to me at the moment. I wonder why, right? So we're talking about that the Sarah's behavior is very nice at the moment, right? Right now, but we don't know. We don't know exactly how's the Sarah's behavior in general, right? But at the moment, she's being very nice, okay? Because we are talking about to a specific moment, okay? In terms of behavior, of course. Now remember, she's being, right? We always talk about to behavior, okay? They very happy. They just got married, okay? I think they are. Yeah, I think they are. They are very happy. They just got married. Next one. You are normally very patient. So why so reasonable about waiting 10 more minutes? Okay. So you're normally very patient. So that's the normal behavior of this person. Okay. So why are you being so unreasonable? Right. In this case, we're talking about the behavior that person has not right now. So why are you being like this? Why are you being so unreasonable about waiting 10 minutes more? 10 more minutes. So, would you like something to eat? Would you like something to eat? Right? Are you hungry? Right? Are you hungry? Because that's something that we don't have a control. Are you hungry? Right? Yep. Yep. That's everything. About number 4, they are very happy. We are using are, right? Because we are talking about that something we don't have a control. Okay, they are very happy and very happy. Okay, so good for them, but we don't have a control, or they don't have a control of that situation. Okay, that's why we use are and not using being, kind of. Okay. Okay, guys. I hope you like this video. So if you like, please leave your like, right? You have any question, any doubts, just leave your comments below. Okay. Thank you for watching this video.